Hi, it's Mindy with Astrology by Love, here to bring you an awesome series on the moon. So we are going to go ahead, jump right in and get started. I wanted to mention a few things first. So the moon in astrology is our emotional body. It shows how we process, how we feel, contain, express, and perceive emotions. If you are born at night, then the moon expresses more frequently. So, and sometimes, a lot of times, is more important than the sun. A good celebrity example of this is Tony Robbins. So, Tony was born at night. He is a Pisces sun, which is sensitive, intuitive, feeling, and we do see that energy in Tony, but he expresses as more of an alpha male. Being born at night, he was also born when the moon was in the sign of Aries. So that is a lot of times where his alpha male energy comes from, his dynamic, go-getter, accomplishment attitude. So that's an example of a celebrity born at night. And if you two are born at night, your moon may express more than your sun, and that would be normal. The moon is also influenced by the house it is in. And the moon represents our mothers or mother figures in our life, as well as the women that we are attracted to and that we attract in. So in a man's life, the moon represents the type of woman that, once again, he is attracted to and who also embodies the energy that his moon carries. So sometimes, and a lot of times in a man's life, that moon energy comes through in the women in his life. We are also going to talk about the stars and what degrees of particular signs these stars are in, and how they affect the moon when the moon is in line with these stars. Know that when a planet or point is culminating or coming closer to a star, that energy is building. Once it passes by, it's kind of built. There's like a pressure release. It quickly lessens and then fades away. Also know that angles from other planets affect your moon as well. So as a general rule of thumb, a sextile or trine brings a planet's energy into the influence of the moon by a pleasant way. It's complementary, it works together. If the planet is in a square or opposition, then it brings that planet's energy into the moon in a frustrating and challenging way. So in the conjunction with a planet with the moon just depends on the planet. So different astrologers have different opinions on the moon's orb of influence. Some astrologers, like William Lilly, say that the moon has an influence on a planet up until 12 degrees. And I've heard other astrologers say as little as 7 degrees. Some ancient astrologers did not use degrees when making charts, and has sort of given us the impression that the entire sign to another entire sign is included in those energies. The stars influence the moon so that the nature of the moon is not lost. It just adds an extra layer of energy, a different energy. As with all energy, sometimes one is stronger than the other, but the original moon energy in that sign is still accessible on some level. Also note, not all of these star placements are fantastic. So, instead of massaging the edges of the truth, I do have to say some negative things about a few positions. Please don't shoot the messenger. There seems to be a balance of some sort in the universe. So some of these places are thought of as beneficial and others are not. Also notice some of these stars don't necessarily completely change the moon. They just amplify certain characteristics. So it may not be as much as a different thing as much, but more a characteristic is just intensified. One other point to consider is that a star has been known to influence the opposite point. So if your moon is behaving differently than the sign and there is not a star at that particular point, check the opposite zodiac and see if there is a star at that point. I don't cover that in these videos. I'm trying to make these not be super long, but I also want them to be informative. So if a star isn't there, check the other side. And for these videos, just as references, I have used Claudius Ptolemy's Tetrabiblios. I have used Vivian Robson's The Fixed Stars and Constellations in Astrology book, and also the websites astrologyking.com and constellationofwords.com. Doing research and going through all this, something I did notice was that Vivian Robson always had the most negative interpretations of the stars. And I thought, what's going on there? So I looked up his chart, and his moon is 2 degrees away from Saturn. It also has a mild square to Mars, which can readily cause a negative outlook on things. And just so you know, this astrologer that you're listening to right now, her moon is in Capricorn, which is also ruled by Saturn. So I'm going to try to keep this light and upbeat, but I do want this to be truthful and honest and also provide insight for you as well. And one last thing, please note that I have read about all of these stars multiple times. I have not necessarily had conversations with astrological scholars about each and every one of them. At the moment, I type out my readings in order to give myself time to best describe what is going on in the best possible way. So I have read and typed all of these names at one point or another. I have not necessarily spoken about them. I am not fluent in Arabic or Latin or even Chaldean. So I'm going to pronounce these names the best that I can. If I mess one up or mispronounce it, which will probably happen, and you know how to properly pronounce it, please let me know down below in the comments. I would love to learn the proper pronunciations of these names. Once again, thank you for watching, and we'll get started. One more thing. I have put the names of the stars down below in the description box next to the degree it is at, and have the time that it appears in the video right next to it. Enjoy! The Pisces Moon. The Pisces Moon has all the feels. Super sensitive, intuitive, very empathetic. Creativity and spirituality are like air to them. They need that to breathe. Very likely to see God smiling at them in the clouds or hear the melody from a stream. Also a little paranoid and not quite sure why. They just have a feeling. Art, meditation, and music are their game. Beautiful surroundings soothe their soul. Meditation is such a good thing for this moon. They are concerned with the quality of friends over the quantity of friends, and tends to deep dive into conversations. No point in doing shallow small talk beforehand. They're ready to go deep. Aesthetic is also important to them. How things look comforts their soul. They see the best in people, even when the people do not deserve it at all. So they're the ones that see that little spark, that little something. They know a goodness is there. So they are not interested in competition, but instead they want to understand. So they feel like they can see the other's point of view and can totally understand why the other person behaves that way and does what they do. And a lot of times the Pisces Moon will empathize to a fault, to their detriment. They are sacrificial towards loved ones. They allow themselves to be taken advantage of and often do not realize that there is any other choice. If this is a man's mother, he may have an addict as a father or some other type that brings this extreme dysfunction in. Typically are very codependent. Feminine and ethereal, sensitive, and the Pisces Moon may even be a little bit spooky. So that's an overview of the Pisces moon. Let's talk about the stars now. So the first star we come to in Pisces, I'm probably mispronouncing this one, is Sadalmelik. It is at 3 degrees, 46 minutes of Pisces. So it is prosperous, lucky, and has haters to boot. So probably mostly female haters with the moon in line with this star. The placement here may not feel so lucky to the native, who receives more backlash from success than most. With its closest to Fomalhaut, which is the next star, the one whose moon is here needs to keep their head held high and keep doing the next right thing and ignore those haters. So this has approximately a 1.5 degree orb. The next star, I'm probably mispronouncing this as well, I believe it's called Fomalhaut. So it has 3 degrees, 52 minutes of Pisces. It is considered a royal star. So when the moon is in line here, the native has a very watchful and protective mother or mother figure or woman in their life. This is a very beneficial placement and can incline an individual towards fame and fortune. It can also provide the ability to produce exquisite and excellent evil, though. This is someone who you can see the outcome of their evil. It is so well planned. It is so well thought out. When it happens, you almost want to just stand there and give them an ovation. Like, wow, I cannot believe they just pulled that off. There is a 2.5 degree orb with Fomalhaut, spelled Fomalhaut. Leonardo da Vinci's moon is 51 minutes away from Fomalhaut. The next star in line is Deneb Adige, also known as Alpha Cygnus. So it's at 5 degrees, 16 minutes of Pisces. This is a beautiful and artistic moon placement. A beautiful singing voice as well manifests from this star, as does sweet and pleasant words from dear old mom and typically all the other women in your life. It has a 2.5 degree orb. The next star in Pisces is at 6 degrees, 43 minutes. It is Sadalachbia. This ACH is pronounced like German, not like the American ATCH, so Sadalachbia. This position of the moon gives one a special intuition for knowing the right time to make a move. This special sense gives them a leg up in business, and many with this moon here do well in business dealings. So the moon in line with Sadalachbia has about a 1.5 degree orb. Next is the next star in Pisces to talk about is Skat. So that's at 8 degrees, 52 minutes of Pisces. The moon in line with Skat here indicates long-lasting happiness with companions, which definitely includes women. Successful enterprises are also indicated, as is sudden epiphanies and right timing. A tendency towards being a good leader is also given to the moon when it is nearby Skat. So this has just over a 1.5 degree orb. The next star we're going to talk about in Pisces is Achernar. So Achernar is 15 degrees and 19 minutes of Pisces. It is known for giving the native high ecclesiastical placements, which essentially means they do well in the church, they do well in spiritual matters, they are movers and shakers in the religious world. So those with the moon here are known for their high morals and philosophical leanings. No doubt the mother is a saint or referred to as one. Happiness and success comes with the expression of good and high morals when the moon is in line with the star. Has about a 2.5 degree orb. Next in Pisces, we have Markab. So Markab is at 23 degrees, 29 minutes. The moon here brings struggles and weariness on the way to success. So the native may seem to be a little clumsy, is prone to accidents and cuts. Remember, these energies can also play out in the women in one's life as well. They will succeed, but they will kind of struggle, stumble, fumble along the way. They will not do it gracefully. Hillary Clinton has her moon at 22 degrees and 51 minutes of Pisces, which is a mere 30 minutes away from this star Markab. And then last but certainly not least is Scheat. So Scheat is at 29 degrees, 22 minutes. This is an incredibly evil and unfortunate placement. So any planet, including the moon, is no exception. The potential for drowning and suicide is, that energy is here in line with Scheat when the moon is here. Also, cruelty and viciousness from one's mother is there. So one can receive abuse. Mom is definitely not your favorite person when the moon is in line with this star. Reading horrific murder mysteries and extreme physical exercise may be the best way to try to positively express these energies. Catherine Zeta-Jones has her moon at 28 degrees and 41 minutes of Pisces, right at a half degree away. She's been vocal about her bipolar issues and depression. Scheat, unfortunately, is a bright and powerful star and has a full 2-degree orb. And then just some examples of celebrities with their moon in Pisces. We've got Michael Jackson at 14 degrees and 54 minutes. We have Martin Luther King at 19 degrees, 35 minutes. Kim Kardashian, 28 degrees, 9 minutes. Elvis Presley, 2 degrees and 1 minute. Leonardo da Vinci, we talked about him, 3 degrees and 1 minute. Catherine Zeta-Jones, 28 degrees, 41 minutes. And Prince at 1 degrees and 59 minutes of Pisces. So I appreciate y'all hanging out with me today. Thank you.